During this time, I was still trying to work on my relationship with Campbell, and I was not trying to do anything with anybody. He called me again at the end of March, beginning of April. I decided to give it a chance.
Hello and welcome to Underneath the Hat, the web series. My name is Sherri Simmons, and today our topic is dating in the 21st century. On the couch today we have Twla, Shontee, Ricky, our licensed social worker, Miranda Chanel, Leroy, and Nicole. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
So, let's dive right in. What does dating look like now in the 21st century?
It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough in the sense of that most people date from a perspective of hurt. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people ain't never healed from whatever issues they went through. Mm-hmm. And so when they get new relationships, they bring that stuff with them. And so now you get looked frowned upon if you don't take on any baggage. Oh, you classified as being weak. And it's just like, nah, I'm not weak for wanting to put up with all that emotional baggage. But then again, you know, if it's the right person, I guess you'll probably put up with it depending on the nature of the baggage. But so it's a lot coming with this new age dating.
I agree. Dating is very hard. We have so much technology out here where it's just easy, and it just seems like women are looking for attention. And women, I'm not gonna say women, girls are looking for attention. So it makes it very hard for women, you know, to come across a man that take us serious. You know, because they out here, they flashing their bodies, they're putting up statuses about being horny, all this stuff that goes on Facebook and Snapchat, all these things. It's just very hard to find a man that'll take you serious nowadays. Yeah.
Well, it goes both ways because I was married for 22 years.
Okay.
And I'm divorced now, but it's kind of hard to find that right woman. It's just a totally different thing now. You know, the women, the way they carry themselves, their mouth. And I don't like a woman to carry themselves with that mouth. Be respectful. Carry yourself like a lady's supposed to carry herself.
I agree.
You know, so.
Now, Nicole, you recently got out the dating pool. Yes. So you're recently married. Mm-hmm. So, how did you meet your husband? And was he anything like the ones we see nowadays?
Oh no. I prayed every night, you know, and I used to talk to God and tell God, please send me a man that's gonna take care of me and not hurt me and accept me for who I was. Those are the only three things that I asked for. Not a man that's financially stable. No, I wasn't looking for that because I got my own money, you know. But he sent me a guy. I was at the gas station. This was last year. Actually, June 30th was the first day I met him. And I was pumping my gas and I was getting back in my car. And he like, hey, pretty lady, you married, single, divorced, you know? I'm like, I'm single. He like, where you about to go? I'm like, I'm about to go to a car wash. So he handed me $40. Just handed me $40. Here, baby, go get your car wash. I'm like, okay. I immediately called my best friend. I said, ooh, best friend, I think I found me a husband. He old school. Right. He old school, like back in the 90s, right? So she like, girl, yeah. So I went to the car wash. And I was wondering why he gave me $40 because I usually just take my car through a $3 car wash. And when I got there, because he sent me to a car wash, and they cleaned my car so good. And he called me the whole time, and then we went out. And we hit it off. You know, my kids be gone for the summer, and I stayed with him the whole summer. Like, he opened his house, and I live far, like 45 minutes away from Chicago. So he just opened his house, and I went to work from here, and we just hit it off. It was like he was consistent. He showed love. He brought me around his family. He like, you gonna be my wife. And 4 months into it, in November, the day before my birthday, because I was going out of town with my girlfriend, he asked to marry me. He like, I got something for you. Just come over to my house. Come over to my house. I'm like, I got to get on the road because we was doing a road trip. And I came over there and he proposed to me. Right. And I was like, whoa. I didn't know what to say. I said yeah. I did tell him yes. But I was just like shocked. You know, I was shocked. But God said, hey, if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, I wanted that. And he brought it right to me immediately. And I'm like, whoa, I guess it's my time. So that's just how it went. It went really fast. And we just recently got married August 31st. Wow. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's similar to my story because I've been married twice, but I've only dated twice. So this newfound thing, I don't know what it is. And all this other stuff. I told the Lord, if you don't bring him to my door with a bowl, it ain't happening. And that's exactly what he did with Vince. We met at church, and in April we started dating. June he proposed, and a year and a day later we were married. And it was because he was chivalrous. Yeah. Like, you don't see men who open doors or pull a seat out or pay for the meal. They let you reach for it to see what you're going to do. No. Yeah. And so, with that being said, is chivalry dead? Give it
a gentleman.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you get what you look for.
Well.
And so if the places that you're searching are not where gentlemen hang out, then you're going to get non-gentleman behaviors. I think we as women have positioned ourselves to where we accept table scraps and then we complain when we're still hungry. But if you know what you're looking for and you position yourself to receive that, then that's what you're going to get. If you tolerate foolishness, he's going to give you foolishness because he's a man and that's what men are programmed to do. Not to say that all men. Listen, let me hear me out. A man is only going to give a woman what she's willing to accept. So, say for the sake of the argument, you and I are dating. You're going to come to learn what I'm willing to accept from you and what I'm not. And you're going to figure out for yourself whether or not you're willing to adjust to meet what I need and whether or not I'm willing to adjust to meet what you need. If I allow you to do whatever, you're going to continue to do whatever because that is what I allow you to give me and I accept it. I can't complain if I don't tell you what I want or what I desire. And I think as women, we have become so accustomed to, well, I'm just going to meet whatever it is that he's telling me he wants. When in reality, as humans, we're always going to want a little bit more because that's just the way that life works. We always, you should always be striving for something better, even when you're dating. What more can I bring to this dating relationship? But if I don't ever ask for anything, then I can't expect you to give me anything more than what you've presented.
That's true.
Well, in that regard, I understand.
I wasn't trying to shade you. No.
I was like, because this Chicago, y'all went, some of y'all Chicago.
Right.
But given the upbringing, you know, so let's use Chicago. You know, this is a city of gangsters, you know what I'm saying, gang banging and pimping, you know. So we all grew up in that fast lifestyle, even how we talk to one another. So there's a certain dynamic dealing with Chicagoans in general. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the west side, you from the south side. We operate differently. We still there's that whole joke of west siders versus south side still going on today.
South side,
you know,
west side.
I mean that's everybody has their own opinion. So you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, that plays a role in it as well. So the initial question is chivalry dead? No, chivalry is not dead. I think it's not visible to everybody. You know, because like. I could be chivalrous to you, but you ain't never seen what chivalry was like.
Yes.
Right.
So me being kind to you is foreign. You're like, oh, this he likes me. You know, when you act stupid, or vice versa, the guy act like he don't understand what it is for a woman to cater to him and love him and this, that, and third, because he's never received such treatment. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. So I mean, there's a lot to play to it. You know, so yeah.
Okay, to go off what he's saying, I don't believe chivalry is dead. Like he's saying, the woman don't know how to really receive it. So in most cases, a woman who receives a good man, somebody that opens doors, calling on the phone, they kind of take that as a sign of weakness, like you're goofy, you know. So that's not the men they really want to be with all the time, and that's how they like. I hang with a lot of men tell me like I be nice to them, and they try to play me like I'm slow. So now I'm finna get on the other stuff because this is what they want, this is what they like. And again, to pick up back what you were saying, like you get what you ask for. Because I date different people, and I might be like, I don't care with so and so, and he gonna play and do whatever he gonna do, and then somebody else I got standards for. You will not do this, you know what I mean? And I've noticed that, like, why you gonna shorty so hard, boy? And that's just because I'm in a point in my life, and you gotta know yourself. I'm in a point in my life where I'm not really looking for none of that. You was at a point where you prayed. I ain't praying. Like, I'm just not that yet. You know, I have a son. I'm content with that. He's not in my household, so it's a lot of things that go with me. I'm not really looking for a man to come in there because my home is not complete. So I don't feel like I can have a man come in my life and then be my son, and my son like, I ain't really feeling him. You gotta go. So it's different from me because of my situation. So I'm not really looking. So I take a little bit of stuff, but it's a difference because I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm not going to do a whole lot, but you get in these relationships where, like she said again, all these females, they showing it off, they doing this, they don't care that you are entertaining another woman. They don't care that you have a girlfriend, a wife, none of that. These females are nasty. You cannot cuss. They are nasty, and they try to break up. Like that's a lot. A lot of women, they get off on that. Yeah. Like, I bet I can.
Yes.
And I bet you can have him.
Yes.
And that needs to be the place where people are.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that, first of all, if you can take him, he was never mine in the first place.
Yep. Right.
So that speaks to me and my role that I play in that relationship. We have to understand that there's a role that's expected. So if I'm giving him what he needs, there's nothing that another woman can say that I haven't already said.
Yep.
So thank you for being the cherry on top, but he got the sundae at home. And vice versa. It works the same way for men. If as a man you are saying everything that she desires to hear, you are doing the things that she desires for you to do, there is not something that another man can come in and proposition her with, because all of those voids have been fulfilled. You find infidelity where there's a void somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it came from that original relationship or it came from a relationship of the past, you're looking to fill a space that's not being filled.
Now with dating, now we have social media and the DM and Netflix and chill.
So I like a good Netflix and chill. I Netflix
Explain
and chill.
what it is. I don't know.
I Netflix and chill by myself, okay? Like, that is all the time. People be like, what you doing? Netflix and chilling? Woohoo, by myself. Like, I enjoy the Netflix movies, TV shows. That's my me time, that's my peace time. So I do that all the time, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, you have to know what you're looking for. See, people put this thing, like people that's looking for a husband, they'll look at somebody like me and just, well, I'm this type of person. Further from the truth. I'm just content with my life. I'm content with what I'm looking for. I'm also probably one of the biggest heathens in the world to some people, but I have grown up in church. My mother is a pastor, so certain things I do still believe in, and I believe that a man finds his woman. The woman don't find a man.
That's right.
So I'm not necessarily looking. I'm deep. Yes. So I'm not looking, and I don't think I ever really look and have that of I want a husband, because I know me. And as much as I play, as silly as I am, as loud as I am a great woman. I'm an asset to any man that comes in my space. So find me and we gonna rock. I'm not a cheater. I'm not any of that. I'm just single. So I do what single people do. I mind my business and I do what I want to do. I don't owe nobody nothing. No, I'm very honest. So if I'm dating you, you know if you're the only one. You know if I'm like, I would literally tell you this is what's going on. I take very much pride in not being a liar. That's another people's problem. We dating, but you got all this stuff going on. So
why is that? Why? If you're dating and you're in a situation where you want to
be with other people, why is it people aren't open to saying, I'm just casually dating, this isn't serious? How does someone know when they're the one?
Okay, with me, I'm honest about it. So I expect a man to be honest, which is why I usually have my issues, because I feel like you have no reason to lie to me. I'm not your mom and I cannot whip you. I'm not trying to whip you. So be honest, and the moment the honesty goes out the window, then I really I might still deal with you. But please know, please understand, I'm not taking you serious. It goes out of the window because the trust is gone. Even though we might be playing, even though we might be dating and building, it's still a building. It's still a relationship getting built. So our first encounter is you being a liar. I'm going to remember that. And I'm not really going to take you serious. So you might just be the guy that, when I don't want to Netflix and chill by myself, I might call you. When I want to watch Power with somebody, I might call you. But I'm not expecting you to do other things. And that's probably why I said earlier, now you can't do nothing that's really going to bother me. So I'm going to let you get away with everything that you think you're getting away with, because I don't care. That's just how I'm thinking. A lot of women don't think like that. A lot of women want to be the main one. Oh, he talked to me. Oh, he said I was pretty. So they just assume that he's the only one you standing to. But you got to understand that he's dating. This is what he does. Now, eventually the time is going to then come from once a week to maybe he really feeling you. He's going to give you 3-4 days a week. Like, you notice, you have to pay attention, because you're going to notice how he operates with you. Like, I notice people that only call me once a month. Oh, you can't tell me you ain't got no girlfriend. Or you ain't doing something. You cannot tell me. You can tell me, I'm going to be like, But the jokes is coming. I know the truth. I'm going to be an ass. My bad. I'm gonna give you what you have given me. Like, I am that person that gives off every energy you give me. That's what I give you.
So men, why is it okay? So why are men honest with women when they're playing the field, as we used to say?
Well, with me,
or just dating?
I would be honest with a woman.
Okay.
I'm old school now, so I don't have nothing to hide. I'm gonna put it on the table. We're not serious. I don't want a relationship. We can kick it, have a good time together. Now, if I want a relationship, I'm going to say, hey, I like you. I want to be with you and you only. And I don't have time to play games no more. I played the games. You know, now it's time to settle down, relax, be happy, content, and have peace of mind with that right woman. You know, that right woman.
Now, Ricky, as the younger, he's like, you gonna make me answer this question?
I'm gonna give you a real answer. I mean, the reason why most cats, first of all, again, you're dealing with upbringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're dealing with Chicago upbringing. You know, again, this is a pimping city, gangbanging city. So I said,
You gotta cut that out, bro. Don't put that on your
man, I'm from K-Town, but it's the reality.
I that environment of what you're talking about.
Right. So with that being said, the reason why a lot of cats growing up, you know, this is what we're taught. We're taught that sleeping with a multitude of women equals this level of masculinity. So because of that, this is where the line comes in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to afford you the truth because you might not give me no. I mean, you might not give me none. You know what I'm saying? So this is where that comes from. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to glorify the lifestyle that's, you know, that's constantly being promoted here in Chicago, but that's what it is for a lot of these cats. So essentially, this is why a lot of men coming up and early on in their 20s, they do a lot of lying. You know, they don't afford that woman that respect because they don't want to lose out on something. And the reality of it is quite opposite. You tell the truth, like, hey, I just want to be friends with benefits or whatever, and you allow her to get that option to say yes or no. Right. A lot of times it'd be a yeah. You know, to be honest with you. You know, and then if she say no, that's cool. Move on. You can't smash everybody. You ain't supposed to.
And let me
anyway.
tell you why a lot of women say yes.
But do you find a lot of women nowadays are willing to just do that?
Yes. You know what? Like he said something that was talked about. Men grew up with the thing of we kind of supposed to have a lot of women, and that's kind of how we grew up seeing it. So now, in this whole independent, and then this whole, this whole phase that everybody got going on, they feel like I want to be a man too. I'm going to do this as much as a man. But it goes back to, first of all, men can't get pregnant. Men don't have that stigma that it puts on women. So we as women have to remember that we are not men. Like, I hang around all the men in the world, but I'm not them. And I might listen to their stories. I might laugh. I might talk. But I cannot have the same conversation with my best friend who is a male. And he talked to me about 4 different women that he just slept with last night because it was sweetest day. And hey, sweetest day, okay? I cannot tell him, bestie, I did the same thing.
Right.
So it's still a double standard,
Right.
even though.
But it should be, because as women, we can't have both. We can't be better than these men and have more respect for ourselves and all this other stuff, and then do the same nastiness that they do. It just does not work. So either you're going to own up for what you're going to be in and say, this is what it is, and take away the respect that you want the men to give you. Like, you can't have both. You can't be respected and then do the same thing that they do. But yet, we all known and good for calling these dudes $30. Like, how can you call them that and then be there and then think that it's going to be okay? They're going to call us the same thing. And that's what I think it is now. Men are looking at these women who they know, and I have had, like I said, I hang around a lot of men, so I have had men tell me, I'll never trust a woman. You know why? You know how many women with dudes I have slept with? So it then takes away with, I don't trust y'all either, because y'all just as nasty, just as disrespectful, just as out there as we are. So now, where men was kind of looking, and they was kind of playing the field, but looking for a wife, the wife part is out the door because all they see now is hoes. So we have to put out the room with the image that we putting out there for the men, because again, the man has to find us, and the men looking at us as all nasty. They no longer looking. Now they are just still on their hunt for just sex. And that's what we put out there. So we got to take that at this point.
And before we move on, I'll say this one thing in regards to the whole guys sleeping with a multitude, the one that equates masculinity or whatever. Nobody never tells us that creates a deficiency later on within us. You know what I'm saying? As far as guys, like, I could be with the baddest chick or whatever. She can do any and everything, as you stated earlier. But because my body has gotten used to sleeping with a multitude of women, I can't appreciate it. Ain't nothing wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? But I got this craving that she can't satisfy because the discipline has been long gone since my teenage years or whatever the case may be. So that's another thing guys have been tackled. And the fact that this whole virginity thing, you know, we talk about that. Everybody gets demonized for being a virgin, not knowing, like, you should have stayed one. I'm pretty sure everybody, when it comes down to it, like, yeah, I should have stayed one. You know, because you ain't really miss out on that.
Say it one more time for my son, who's 13. Tell him one more time. Stay in virgin pool.
And just to piggyback off of what you're saying, it not only causes a deficiency in men, but it causes a deficiency in that woman. Because she brings all that she can to the table, and what it tells her is that that's still not enough. You can be educated, you can take care of home, you can save yourself, you can cook meals, you can, whatever it is that he's asking you to do, and still not be enough at the end of the day. And so it goes back. Like, as much as people don't want to admit it, this is the way that Black people have been programmed since slavery. And if we don't address these issues, we've gotten a group of children that are the generation after millennials, I don't even know what you call them, that just feel like none of that apply. That, you know, they don't have grandparents that we had that went through anything. So all they know is they live in a microwave generation where whatever they want, it's at their fingertips. It happens very quickly. And I don't have time to listen to these stories that you're telling.
Right.
But in reality, this happened from us being enslaved. This happened from them stripping families apart. This happened when we had the desire to put our families back together. We couldn't, because you can't have Section 8 and have a man in the house at the same time. And so if we don't deal with that and we don't understand how it's caused us across generations to think what we celebrate and what we don't, what we forgive and what we don't, what we talk about and what we don't, we're going to continue to have generations after generations where they don't know how to be men, because having a bunch of miles on a car don't equate you to be a man. And we don't know how to be women because we're so confused in being independent and being nurturers that there is no middle ground. Like, as phenomenal as music is, you weren't created to be independent. You weren't created to do this thing by yourself. My body wasn't created to cut grass and shovel snow. I don't care what you say. Okay. So yes, I want to own a house, but I want to have a man who wants to shovel the snow. I don't want to fill my car up on Sundays. I want him to do that. Not that I can't. Yes, I am able. I am equipped. We have similar body parts, but I want to nurture. I want him to know that I can take care of him so that he wants to take care of me. And so I have to position myself to be something that's worth taking care of.
Next question.
Okay. All right. So with my book Underneath the Hat, one of the character Mary Jane.
She don't know.
We talk about her too.
Amanda Jane. She is married and ended up being cheated on by her husband with several women, all of whom were in her circle. And so I was having this conversation with one of my friends. I think it was you. And a multitude of people told me, you were the side chick. Even though you were the wife, even though you were the wife, you were the side chick. And so how does a woman know her role, if she's the main chick or the side chick?
The man tells you your role or shows you your role. It's up to you to pay attention. Because a man gonna tell you whatever he wants to tell you, okay? But he also shows you at the same time. I go to my phone right now. Everybody in mama love me. But when I need something, I'm not calling none of them. And that's another reason why I'm single and continue being single, because I have positioned myself to have men around me who genuinely care about me. And I feel like if I can call my bestie for something and get it from him, and I can't call you, then that's a problem for me. And men really don't like that I have another source that isn't there. But I have no problem saying, I don't actually like ask anybody for anything or need anybody for anything, but if I can get an emotional support from him that I can't get from you, there's really no need for you to be around me.
That's right.
So, but how can you tell?
Because he shows. Because just like it takes no time, and this is a text generation. It takes no time to text me and say, "How was your day? Did you eat?" Everybody know I love to eat. I know. Thank you. It takes nothing. I like candy. It's small things. Like coming to my house with nothing bothers my soul. Like, you can stop at a restaurant. You can give me some Skittles. Like, I'm set on everything I need. So I'm not looking for you to really give me anything. It's the effort. It's
what you said is not the big things. It's the small things.
It's the small things. It's definitely the small things, because Ring gonna get paid, Keon gonna be straight, all of that's gonna be done. But have you asked me if I ate today? Have you asked me my day? Now I'm traveling 2 hours to work and from work.
So that's what the main chick gets. They get phone text messages. And
the main chick gets the attention. The main chick gets the time. The main chick gets you remember different things. Right. You gonna remember that she likes Skittles and not M&M's.
Yeah, don't know.
So that's the criteria.
It's the criteria of being important. Are you important enough? Because you was in your own marriage and your own household.
Right.
Is he bringing you anything out of just because?
Oh, I was getting all the luxuries, Jack.
Just because, not because this is what I've been doing for 10 years, but not because this.
Yeah, but that was a facade. He was trying to cover up what he was doing. So he figured if I give her something, she won't pay attention to what's going on.
But that was what he'd been doing, right? For years.
But he had been cheating all that time too.
So that wasn't just because. That was just, this is what I do. This is how I keep her in line.
Yeah.
I said just because. Just because it's Wednesday. Just because I thought about you, I'm going to bring, what you like? M&M's, nigga? I'm going to bring you some M&M's and leave them on the counter. Just because I know you're a teacher, I'm going to be cute and give you an apple. Just because.
Okay, so what do they do?
Not because that's my white and her color red. So I'm like, that's
Ricky.
That's that.
So I don't think the question. I'm not to take away from the question. I don't think the question should be what title it is. I think the question should be like, what do you do when you realize that this person's just that trifling? We try to justify however means necessary and put all type of big words to it. But what do you do when you come up against somebody that's just trifling and have no respect for you in that manner? You know what I'm saying? Do you stick around and you try to make it work and you beg, plead it or whatever? Because like, the older you get, the more tiresome that becomes. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of begging grown folks for cooperation. And it's like now, some people, they be like, they feel like they gotta whoop you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You trigger these emotions in people, then get mad, then try to tell them how to react to it. To me, that's a problem. Like, don't do no BS to me, then tell me how to react to your foolishness. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Or crowd whoop. Like, nigga, you started it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry. Like, to me, that's the problem. So,
exactly.
So I think the initial question should be, you know what I'm saying, when the red flags start to show, what do you do? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know, do you stay and put up with it? You check a deuce and be like, hey, do you cry and go through the pains of getting over this relationship? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I look at it. Because it's like this side chick, this chick, you know, you all the same. Because ain't nobody getting no respect, period. I'm smashing you, and you. Ain't nobody better than the next one. The only difference is how each one of y'all ride. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, go ahead.
He definitely covered it.
So, with dating in the 21st century, what are some of the things that we should look for? Because I didn't date. Once I divorced, I met my second husband, and then we got married. So, I didn't go out on dates. I didn't do the DM thing. I just got my Instagram set up like so, the right way anyway. So, what do you do? What are some things that you should do if you're out there dating, whether it's through social media or one-on-one dates? What are some things or red flags that you should look for and things that you should do to protect yourself while dating?
It doesn't take you long to figure a person out.
Right.
Not at all.
Yeah, because people
They
thought
can
I
say
moved
one
too
thing,
fast.
like,
No. Yeah.
No, this is not it. Let me move on to the next one. It doesn't take long. I learned. It don't take long to figure a woman out. It don't take long for a woman to figure a man out. It don't take long at all.
And with all this technology that we have, I do background checks on the man, his mama, his daddy. You have to.
I know that's right.
You have to know who you're dating and where they come from. Because you have to be very careful who you have children with. Okay? Very careful.
Oh boy.
Very careful. Listen. Because that trickles down. But that question, the question you had asked, what do you look for when you are dating? The red flags. Oh God, time. You know, the consistency they put in to you. You know, when a man really wants you, when they really want you, they will give you their whole world. They'll let you into their world. You know, so that's how I knew this man was not playing with me. He was, and it was kind of annoying a little bit. But my mama like, girl, you better marry that man. You better, and when your mama rooting for him,
Mama rooting.
and you never listen to your mama because your mama's like, oh, get rid of that one. You know, she told me that plenty of times. I never listened to her, but your mother know. You know, but as far as the red flagging, when the man don't call you, respond back to texting and all that, oh Lord, get rid of him. Run for the border.
I'm going through something right now like you. Like, he a little stalkerish, and I don't like it. So I'm like putting them out like, is he mine? Is that the one for me?
I wasn't know who I think you're talking about.
I don't know. We're not gonna even do a nickname.
I'm sure you're not.
But is that a sign of like your husband?
But girl,
It depends on what you consider stalking.
It's stalking.
There's
to
a
me
fine
because
line
I'm
between
weird
attentiveness
like that.
and misdemeanor. Okay,
what are you doing?
you have to really look at like, is it stalkerish because I've never received this before,
It's
and so I don't know how to accept it.
It's too much for me. I think it's everything you described. So you like it, I guess. I just.
So he calls too much?
Oh my God, he calls too much. I'm a heathen, so don't judge. He always talks to, oh, God brought us together. And I'll be like, no, God, no.
He always trying to be around you,
Yes,
take you out.
yeah.
You like the bad boys.
That's what they call effort. And the problem is that we don't see enough effort to know how to receive it.
Like, I agree. And I want. But it's just a creepiness to me. Girl. So that's why should I not be creeped out? Give him a chance.
You know what? I was like you before. I swear. I run away from those guys, the sweet ones. I'd be like, ooh, he's a lame. But the ones that we don't like, those are the ones that we need to be with. The ones that we like. My grandfather always told me, and I used to always be like, he used to be like, Nicole, don't be messing with no man that you like more than he like you. He always used to tell me that. When I lived in Atlanta with him, and he used to always come up and just embarrass me. Get away from her, she don't do no cooking, you know. And I used to be like, I'm not dealing with nobody that I don't like. But I truly understand what he meant by that. And he always just tell me that all the time. Don't fall in love with nobody that don't love you the same way. The man gotta love you more. And I was like, I don't want no man that I don't love. But I truly understand what he mean by that now. Because this man, oh my God, I think he loved me more than I love myself. I mean, I know that sounds crazy because I love myself, you know. Y'all know how I am. But I just really think that we run away from the good guys. And those are the ones that we should give a chance to. Because we like he said, Chicago, we like the ghetto, ratchet.
I like the pimps.
The bad boys, you know. Like, I was in that phase before too, so I totally get what you're saying. But go around the corner, 360 yourself, position yourself, change it up. He probably not that stalkish.
He probably really care about you.
Yeah.
But see, he don't know me enough to care about me, and that be the thing that really blow me. I be like, dude, you don't even know me. Like, please.
Sherri was married within a year. I was married within a year.
I was married within 6 months, and it lasted 22 years.
A man knows. I've talked to so many men. I have so many men in my family. They always tell me, a man know when they meet you if they're going to marry you or not. If they're going to put time and effort into you. And my husband always tell me that too. When I saw you, I knew you was going to be my husband.
See, he say that too, but you know, I be like, you think you are a pimp. Like, I be like,
I think it's because you not ready.
He gets so mad. Yeah, he gets so mad
ready.
when he be like, did you just call me a pimp? And I be like, it sound pimpish. Like, I don't want all of that.
Because you the pimp girl.
Yes. So when you on these dates, or you're getting to know somebody, how soon is too soon to share certain things? Like, you have a son, you had kids. So if you're out dating, how soon should you introduce them to your children or talk about goals and things like that? What are some of the first things that you should discuss on a date?
You can cover some of that right then and there, you know, goals and everything. My mom told me a long time ago, you want to know something about somebody, shut up and let them, they'll tell you everything you want to know. You just got to listen to them. But you can find all that out on a date. There's, I don't think, certain things, explicit things may be off limits during the first date or whatever. Right then and there, you could talk about goals. Because, like, if their goal is to not have no goals, where they're just relationship, this date is, that's it. You know, I don't need to spend 3 or 4 months with you to find out that that's your initial goal. That's stupid. That's a waste of time, energy, and my money. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, conversation is nothing. You know, it's all about application. What's going on? You know, that's all that is. You know?
Now, what are some things they shouldn't ask? Because people thought I was crazy because when I first met Vince, we had a phone conversation. And so I was asking him, are you crazy? Do you take medication? How long were you married? All these questions based on the baggage I had from the first one. Because I wanted to make sure that I didn't waste my time. So I was asking things and people like, you asked him that on the first conversation? But he had an answer for everything. So what are some things that you should not ask? Or does it change depending on what your expectations are?
I think you should ask.
Right.
I think it just depends on the vibe of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain folks I've been on a date with, can't really talk to them. But then other people, you know, we talking like we know each other forever. You know what I'm saying?
That's that connection too.
Right. It just depends on the nature of the energy that y'all sharing between one another, you know. But other than that, what you said, I think you should ask them questions. Was you molested as a child? What was your daddy like? And this, that,
That's not too personal.
Let me tell you.
No.
On the first date?
No.
Maybe not on.
No.
Was you molested?
Listen.
We on a date. I say, ain't sure you was molested.
Well, I didn't say that question was going to be asked. I didn't say
nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say that question was going to be asked on the first date. I'm just throwing out some questions that can and should be asked in. When you learn about a person's past, you know what's going to happen in the future.
I
You know
get
what I'm
that
saying?
part. Let's say that's the third date.
Well, you could. You could. And you ask these questions. They sound funny. It might be offensive, but you have to understand, like, at some point in time, I plan on laying down and going to sleep with you.
Right.
I need to be able to wake up, too. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I know that.
That's it. My first question. How you gonna kill me? I'm real nervous.
People that had kids by
Get
gentlemen.
killer. How you gonna kill me?
Right, but I'm saying, though, like,
I'm special. You might say get killer that night.
right, but it sounds funny, but again, you understanding who you're dealing with. So that's why it sounds funny to talk about the whole molestation thing. But if that person been molested, they ain't never got healed over. So then when y'all have a kid, now you running and your kid talking
But
about
that's
they
like,
touch.
they don't lie on the first date. What man? Like a woman they might disclose information, but a man not.
Let me tell you something. Just because I don't tell you something, don't mean it ain't a lie. You know what I'm saying? Omission is a lie in itself.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
is.
So, this is like me having sex with somebody with full blown AIDS. He never told you that he had it. But because he didn't tell you, that was the lie. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you have every right to be whatever anger that you have at that time. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Hey, I can relate to that because I met a young lady a few years ago. She's cool. Her name was Twla. And we was talking, just conversating. And she just came out, trying to talk to her. And she's like, well, hey, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I'm HIV positive. I had to respect her for that because she could have hid that. But she didn't. She didn't. So I have nothing but love and respect for her right today. Every time we see each other, we say, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you? I'm good. I'm like, hey, go.
Right, you ain't deny you the choice, right?
That's right.
I had the same thing happen to me back in like 2010. Young lady she has herpes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend gave it to her on purpose because he was pissed. You know what I'm saying? But she disclosed that to me. You know what I'm saying? Before we had did anything or whatever.
Yes.
So like you said, I respected that from her. I respected that. I can appreciate that because people won't do that. You know?
Yeah, I respect that. Please tell me if you got something.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
But I need you to tell me everything. I need you to tell me what your credit score is. I need you to tell me. I need you to tell me if your parents and that's but I can respect that because if my ultimate goal is to become a wife and to be able to purchase a home and your credit is not in that place, then I know that that's a goal we have to work together. Not that makes me back away from the table, but I know what's on the table that's presented before me. And not to say that every conversation is a first date conversation, but before you jump into something that's long term, you need to have these types of conversations because they're going to show up in your house. People are raised different ways. What type of values do you have? What is your definition of cheating versus my definition of cheating? Because if we're not on the same page there, you do something that you feel was okay for you to do, and it may shatter my world. And because we can't be transparent, I didn't know that. So how do I hold you accountable for something that you didn't know was wrong?
I agree. A lot of people think dysfunction is functional.
Because you can function in it doesn't mean that it's not dysfunctional.
I definitely want to know about your family. I definitely want to know about your mom.
I know about it.
I want to know about your mom because a lot of these men are messed up because of their mom. So I need to know that. Let me know what your relationship is with your mom. And I have found myself meeting a lot of men who are very close to their mother, which could be good
And it could be bad because as black women, we have replaced our husbands with our sons.
I don't want to do that.
You're the prince and he's the king. Because it's my responsibility to raise you to become somebody else's husband and somebody else's father. And therefore, I can't withdraw everything you have because it leaves you no good for the woman that you were created for. That's selfish of me. You need to know that. But I also need to know about your relationship with your daddy. Because if he was absent, that was your first example of what a man is. So what is it that you saw? What did your father do? What did your mother accept? We are the first example to children of what love looks like. What a woman's willing to accept and what a man's willing to give. So I grew up in a household where my grandparents were together from the time they were 15 until my grandfather took his final breath. You can't tell me what love ain't because I've already seen what it is. But in a relationship with somebody else who's never seen that, they may not be able to handle all of the hardships that come along with relationships because we think everything's supposed to be gravy because we base it off what we see on social media. People only show you the part of their life that they want you to see. You see that he bought her some brand new red bottoms, but you didn't know she had a brand new black eye underneath that contour.
I know some chicks like that.
Listen, a lot. And so you have to have those conversations of what the norm was if you're going to establish your own and make your relationships work.
So how do we as men and women make ourselves better so that we can attract what it is that we're looking for?
You don't attract what you're looking for. You attract what you give off. I'm not going to attract a man who knows how to look good in Timbs and jeans and who knows how to go to church without me dressing him if I always dress like a stripper. I attract what I give off. If I want a man who's intellectual and can have a conversation, I have to be a conversationalist. If I want somebody who's cultured, I have to find myself in cultured situations. Right. We expect the Amazon delivery man to be bae. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to come ring your doorbell. Like, you have to be found doing something in the space where you want him or her to be. You have to be that. People want a compliment. I don't want a project.
Yeah, because I have dated different people, and it's because of the spaces that I've been in. And you be shocked, but I really be, it just be the environment that I'm in at that time. Yes, I go to the club, be ratchet with the best of them, but I can also hold a conversation with real people. I can actually sound like I'm about something. Men notice that. Men notice, like, so you silly as hell, but you kind of smart. Like, or you.
The backhand compliment.
Yeah, but you know, like I've dated doctors. I've had a cop friend for years that's just what it is. He knows I need a cop to be my friend. You get what I'm saying? He knows that as a cop, he understands that and it's respected. He knows I do certain things, and out of his respect for his job and his position, I don't do some things around him. But he knows if he wants to go to the bar, take me out, like, we can do it. Just let me know what you want. I'll dress accordingly. Like, we can go. We're not in town. We have been to places with his bosses. We have done different things to be like, me? Yeah, you know how to act like you got some sense. And then when you I like that too. Like, he's just like me. He can balance it all. But that don't mean because I talk like this around my people that I cannot have a conversation with the mayor. Because I can. And unless he's willing to, but that's him knowing me. And in private conversations, him understanding and seeing me for me and like, okay, you ain't as bad as I thought. You know, it's just, we not in the, he don't want to get married. We have had them conversations early on. He don't want to get married, don't want to have no kids. So I know I cannot ever take him that serious because the things I want sooner or later, he just does not. He's been saying that for like 4 years. I don't want to get married. I might give you a kid. That's just what it is. But that goes with the earlier thing of let me know what it is and I can know how to deal with it. So I'm not going around for 4 years thinking that this might be something. I know it will not be further than what it is because he was honest enough to tell me. So I enjoyed my time in that moment with him. But we both know what it is, and he don't make me feel less than. I don't make him feel more than. I can actually break him down a little bit, keep him humble. But that's just our relationship, and it works because it's honest and it's free.
So for our last question, if you could give advice to your younger self or dating, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I think I said this before.
I kind of regret
10 seconds, girl.
dating a lot of women, but also I had to date a lot of women so I could figure out the type of woman that I wanted.
Right.
You know, and so that's my kind of regret as far as me dating a lot of women, because I know if I'm with a woman, I could be with that one woman. That's I know me. I like me with that one person. Good morning. How you doing? You okay? I like that. I love it. You know, now,
So what advice would you give yourself?
don't be so out there.
Okay.
Don't be so out there.
Right. Nicole?
Oh, I wish I wasn't so gullible back then. You know, I think a lot of relationships that I was in, you know how they say women try to trap men? Men do that too.
Yes, they do.
Just not being so gullible. Okay. And just because you're pretty and you stand out and a man won't try to, they like you and love you like that. Like how you said earlier, because they say you're pretty and you this and you that and this and that and you buy things and spoil you and things like that. Like, I was just so gullible. Don't be so gullible. You know, just because you're cute. Because they try to ruin you. You know, try to bring you down. You're the ones that try to ruin you. You try to ruin you. You know. Yeah.
Ricky?
I would just say tell myself, my younger self, to guard my heart more and Be vigilant, and not even that. You know, you let people get close to you, friends or significant others. You know, folks let you down. You know, you know, you just and believe people's actions versus the apologies. That's what, for myself. I would tell myself to be vigilant and guard my heart and believe their actions more so than their apologies, and keep it moving. Take people for what they are at that time. That way, I would have never wasted so much time.
Twla.
Well, I've said this before. If I go back to my younger self, I would tell myself to marry my baby daddy.
Oh yeah.
Only because the things that I think I'm looking for now or will in the future, I had. And trying to see what's out there. Say what? Trying to see what's out there and just thinking it's better. I was so young. So I just was like, this cannot be it.
Right.
Like, I gotta have a life out here. So trying to find a life, I think I stopped, like, living a great life because I think we could have made it work at least enough. I'll probably be divorced, but at least I could have said I was married, right?
And put your clothes out after that.
Well, I think the piece of advice that I would give my former self is the same piece of advice that I give to all of my clients, I give to all of my mentees. And it is this. There is always a very fine line between cockiness and confidence, and you should walk it. You should always walk it. If you understand that no matter what happens in relationships, you were enough. You were good enough. You were smart enough. You were pretty enough. You were skinny enough, short enough, tall enough, whatever that enough was that relationship told you it wasn't, you can bounce back. You can heal. The heart is a muscle. It doesn't break. It sprains, and then it fixes itself, and it's able to be used again. And so if we could get past the concept that we were lacking something or that we were a bad person, when in reality maybe we just weren't a good fit, then we would be able to appreciate dating for what it is. It is an experience. And so we never lose. We learn. No marriage loss was a loss. It was a learn. If you didn't come out learning something, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. Any relationship you've been in, whether it worked or it failed, you came out learning something. And so it's all about perspective. If you know that you're good enough and you know that there is no such thing as a loss, but it's a learning experience, then you're able to go into the next thing better and more prepared.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming and sharing your insight on dating in the 21st century. And this has been Underneath the Hat, the web series. I'm your host, Sherri Simmons, and I'll see you soon.